to Conscious Mind Tripping with me, Audrey Newmont. It is Wednesday night, and I am ridiculously excited for this show tonight because I have one of my favorite people on the planet, Golden Arrow and Alexandra. Alexandra has been a dear friend of mine for a long time now, and she is with Golden Arrow. One of the things that has been a massive, massive boost and shift for my personal transformation. So we might get into that. And we are definitely going to be talking about things that are going on right now. And we're going to leave it open to some questions later if anybody would like to ask Alexandra or Golden Arrow anything.
This is real mind tripping tonight.
Totally it is. Ooh, perfect. Here we are. What was I saying about you? Because it was really good. And how much I love you. And I think the sun rises and sets on your little head. So years ago.
Don't put me on that pedestal, though.
Oh, no. I'm right there with you. The sun rises and sets on my head, too.
Good.
Hey, Jen, welcome back. We're in action. So we had that session our very first time. We were having an event at our home, and we met you, and you came, and you were one of our psychic readers at our event. And you and I had a session. I'll never forget. We were sitting on my bed and having this amazing session, me with Golden Arrow, and it was just phenomenal. And then I had a moment after that at some point where I had called you and I had a phone session with you, and Golden Arrow said, you need to be gone for a period of 5 to 7 days alone by yourself. And that turned into my first solo camping trip. And you were the one that really said, and I have taken it to the next level at this point, you said, you are the most important thing. And if it's not you, then who is there? And that has been one of those things that has been the next level and the next level and the next level. So when you were saying that about putting people on a pedestal, it's finally where it's like, I am the most important thing. And coming from the fullness of me, you're important as well. And we're all important. And I'm telling you, it was one of the most valuable lessons. But you've also been there when I've had some pretty big challenges and I've called you and it's like, my life is a little topsy-turvy. And every single time, you and Golden Arrow, am I frozen again?
No.
Am I?
Yes.
Am I frozen?
Yes, I hear you talking, but no picture.
Oh, good grief. And could we have frozen me in the most strange looking position? Good grief. Oh my gosh. I don't even understand what's going on. So let's regather ourselves. So I was just explaining how we met and how important you've been in my life. And you channel Golden Arrow. And you've been doing it for a while. And we're not going to go into all the details of how you came to channel. What do you love about channeling Golden Arrow? How does that look for you as Alexandra?
Yeah, that's a great question. Because I have been doing it for, 30 plus years. And I want to say, so Golden Arrow is they are a group of non-physical beings, an energy. And so they are really a part of me now. And I would say the last 15, 18 years, I'm really seated in them, with them. I don't even know quite how to say that. They give me downloads throughout the day. If Hugh and I are talking, my husband and I are talking, they'll jump in and communicate with us. So it's a connection. I was saying the other day that my life has been so huge and so full with Golden Arrow in it. because I channel for groups, for people, for individuals, and um, they're always commenting on how much they get from Golden Arrow, or how Golden Arrow is what they say to them, or the energy that they have just fulfills them, lifts them up, motivates them, answers all their questions, whatever when they come and they ask for a session and I channel for them, they always say, wow, they answered everything that I could ever ask about. So for me, um, what others get, I get,
Ah, wait,
I get,
hold on. This is intermittent going in and out. You know what, Alexandra, we might have to reschedule this. Oh, because they can't, it goes intermittently out and oh, this is frustrating. I really was so excited to be chatting with you tonight. And
well,
now
now here, now, even though I'm going in and out for the people who are watching, I want you to know that this is on purpose. There's no accident that this is happening at all. Yes, we can reschedule. We'll definitely do that. But there's a bigger picture here that is going to come to us. And so let me just check in with Golden Arrow here.
wait, it's staying anyway, so let's just keep going until you're checking in with the gang.
Yes, yes. So the energy that's happening, or the vibration that's happening, not only in California, but worldwide, so much is changing so rapidly, and humanity, people. So we all hold a vibration. So with all the changes that are happening and all of the fluctuation that's happening, and I'm talking about in our United States and the world, because what has just occurred in the United States, not only the fires, but I'm really talking about our elections and having Donald Trump now as the new president. So a lot is occurring, a lot is happening. And so what is happening in yours and my communication, the vibration that's happening is very disjointed and is swirly. I'm going to call it that. It's just not even and it's not clear, which is a mirror of all of us on the planet in this moment of now.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, doesn't that make sense?
yeah, yeah.
Um, so Golden Arrow's words right now are hold on because it's just begun.
We need to talk about this. It, can we actually talk with Golden Arrow about this? So when you're saying it's just begun, I understand what they mean, and I'm telling you, I got a full out body vibe right now. I get what you're saying. So can we have some more information on what that exactly means and what it means to us and with us?
Yeah, would you like for me to go into trance right now?
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay, sure. No problemo.
We're going to hold that space of calm for this line to be
And
open.
and if if it doesn't, if the recording doesn't um, happen and it gets cut off or whatever, not to worry. And Hugh will let me know, and I'll come out of trance. So not to worry about any of that. We'll just do what we can do in this moment of now. And I'll say this to our listening audience and to all of humanity: hold the space in this moment of now for this transmission to occur, to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, greetings to you indeed, truly. It is a delightful experience for us to be here with you, to communicate with you, to interact with you, but far more importantly, to commune with you in this way, truly. It is a delightful experience for us. Now, let us say this to you as you are having these occurrences, as you would call them, this vibrational frequency interruptions. That is a good word for all of you here on this planet. Interruptions. So, what has happened and what has occurred to date is that the planet was on you would call a course. And this has just not been the last 4 years, not at all. It has been the last 25 to 28 years that the planet has been on a course of change, of trying to manipulate the human thoughts, the human actions on the planet. So all of this has come to a head. Think of a boil or a pimple, does not matter. Think of a boil and having it be under the surface and coagulating, so to speak, under the surface, which has been the last 25 to 28 years. And in the last 4.5, 5 years, the boil has risen and has caused friction on the body being planet Earth, caused friction and caused heat, pain, irritation, and all of you will be able to relate to that word, irritation. So the boil then has what you would call has been lanced. You understand that word? It has been lanced, where it has been opened up, and now all of the pus or all of the negative energy has come out, been taken out of the boil. And now what has to occur to that boil? But a healing process, yes?
Yeah.
Where all of that was underneath the skin and in irritation and building up pressure, all of that now, the pressure has been released, but in the releasing of the pressure, then all of you that were in the boil, so to speak, are needing to heal, are needing to be neutralized, so to speak. So the heat is taken out, the irritation is taken out, and now humanity has a time frame, and we're going to say 8 to 12 months of rally, becoming neutral with what has been built up and been irritated, so to speak, because from our perspective, non-emotional perspective, it is just what is. You all created this to learn, to grow, and to become more. That is the whole purpose of what you all have agreed to go through. Now, in the next 8 to 12 months, the infection, so to speak, that was in the boil, it is being neutralized, is creating a new framework of new cells and new thought patterns. The planet as a whole has thought that there was going to be an agreement to live in disharmony. The planet has been working at that. You would call that the deep state from your perspective. The deep state always thought that it would be in control, that it would control money, that it would control thought, that it would control entities that you would call hierarchy or presidents or governments. Does not matter. You can say all of that. That has what has been in store and what has been boiling, so to speak, or being transmitted to all of humanity. This is how this world is going to be. And in the last 4, 5, and 6 years, with the previous administration here in the United States, thought that it was going to go one way and going to be this way, and that everyone was going to agree to it. And to their ultimate surprise, that is not what humanity truly is all about. You can have contrast, you can have hatred, you can have killing and raping and pillaging, etc., etc. But truly, what is the true soul of humanity about? And that is peace and harmony and joy, and living in peace and harmony and joy with each other. You're on planet Earth. You're always going to have the contrast. You're always going to have this, but the contrast needed to be boiling. It needed to be intense. It needed to be obscure and out of the ordinary, which is what you all have seen in those that want to change their gender, etc. From our perspective, it does not matter if you were born a male and you want to be a female. That is the experience that you came in to have. There is no judgment, no criticism at all about how you desire to live your life, because you set it up that way. Before you incarnated, you laid your CD-ROM, and that is what you were going to experience. Now, what has transpired is love and all that is will always bring you back to the knowing of who you really are, a grand being of light energy, of truth, of harmony, and of peace. Now, Audrey, you are in the United States, in the state of California. And we're going to tell you that California, as an entire state, not just one area of Los Angeles, not at all, the entire state needed to have this boil experience, needed to be totally turned upside down, which is exactly what is happening. And we can say to you, all of you who are in California, this is what you all set up for yourself. And it does not matter if you do not agree with us. It is all right. You can disagree. You can say that we're full of baloney, so to speak. It is all right. It does not matter to us. We're just telling you the truth and what is. It does not matter if you disagree or you don't like it. As you will see in the coming months to be, the next 8 to 12 months, when you all rally, take a look at what you have created for yourselves, California and the rest of the world, because the rest of the world is connected. All of you are connected together. Russia, China, you're all connected. And everyone is not only connected, but will be involved in this new healing process that is coming about. You understand?
Yeah.
All right, Audrey, do you have questions then or comments, especially for your viewing audience, if there are, that might be a top on their mind in California, so to speak? And the question is, will California be so destroyed that it won't be livable?
Yes.
That is not in the cards for you all. You all are creating this new energy coming in, and fires always are what you would call on the planet renewal. It has to be torn down in order to have renewal or rebuild, so to speak. And and those individuals, all of you who live in California, all of you are in it together. As you hold the space for renewal, regeneration, rebuilding, as you hold the space for that to be, then the entire state will become new. That means new growth. It means new energy. All of that. You understand, California was the epitome or the picture of what was happening on the entire United States and how the belief system was astray. We'll use that phrase. You understand?
Yes, I do.
Yes. So when you say, will it not be livable, that truly is up to each one of you that had your homes destroyed. And let us say this, it is not destroyed as much as it is renewed. And we understand the emotionality that is attached to having your home, who you are, all the components of who you are in a building of your home and your family and your animals, your pets, etc. There is much emotionality that is attached to all of that. And let us say this to all of you. Emotions have nothing to do with us. Emotions are a human expression or a human experience. From our perspective, when something needs to be made anew, it is what is. And as you all can come to that knowing that what it is for new growth, you are all on the planet to become more. And this experience needed in California to be extreme. It must be extreme. It has been extreme, as you all know, for many years, on a political arena, so to speak. You understand?
Oh, yeah, it has.
Yes. So if you, all of you, want to be exaggeratedly emotional about it, go right ahead. It is your right to feel and be emotional, hatred, anger, resentment, all of that. That is your right. That is the emotion that you hold within you. Now, you also have the opportunity to see the growth in all of this and the change that will occur and is occurring in the state itself of California, as are the movements and the changes that are happening in your government across what you call the United States of America. And that is affecting all of humanity on the planet, all races, all people, all communities, all countries are all being affected by this change.
Right.
And don't you all say, but change is so difficult, Golden Arrow, change is so hard. We understand. You don't have to make it as difficult as you're making it. Your choice. This is your life. This is your existence. This is what you are creating. And we'll say, tongue in cheek, a little humor, how is that going for you?
I think there's a part of this because I look at a lot of different people's postings, what they have on their mind. And there are a lot of people that are afraid that this change is going to limit their freedom, that it is going to lead us in a path that will be detrimental in some way, shape, or form to our different systems, whether it's the financial system, the health system, the school systems, all these different systems that we have. There's a lot of people that are afraid that there is going to be just not a good time ahead of us. What do you say with that?
Yes. So how you all have come into this moment of now before the boil has been lanced, you understand? Before that, the minority, will say the smaller part of humanity wanted to be the bigger part and have a say in how they could live their lives. Now, let us say this. You all came in to have this earthly experience to grow and to become more. There is no, you can only become more if you do this or think this or say this. You can only become more if, that is not yet a rule. You come in with a CD-ROM that you all create for yourselves of experiences. Now, you are never not free. When you feel that your freedom is taken away from you and you're incarcerated and you're not free, it's because you created that movement and that feeling and that emotion about it. You can be what you call in prison, a literal prison for your life, your entire life experience, and know that you are free in that 5x5 cubicle, whatever it is. Freedom comes from within you and how you feel about you. When you allow someone else to dictate how you feel, then that's on you. You cannot say, but they forced that on me. That is not so. You can use that as an excuse for why you are unhappy, why your life is not how you desire for it to be. That is all right. You can use that excuse for however long it lasts for you. What we're saying to you as a humanity is that what you believe you are and you experience. So if you believe that you are free, that is how you will live your life. That is how you will feel about who you are. When you feel that you're not free, who's doing it to you? Do you see?
Right. I think that there is a part of this where people get angry and they get afraid, and their attention goes to, unfortunately, I'm not free, or I don't have choices, or whatever these things are. And I think that we forget what you just said, that we do have these choices and we have that ability to be owning our freedom, how you just so eloquently said. That was really just fantastic. Thank you.
So
Go ahead.
yeah, so let's look at why indeed anyone puts upon themselves an ultimatum, so to speak, or a mantra of not being free. We'll just use that as an example. The culprit, if there is to be a culprit in all of this, is the brain and the mind that controls how you think and feel. The mind, the whole purpose of having a cellular brain and a mind is to keep you alive at all costs. That's the purpose of the mind and the brain. Does not matter if you agree with that or not, does not matter. From our perspective as non-physical beings, that is the purpose of the brain. That's why you all have one. So you can always go back if you are not free, if you are unhappy, if you are fearful, if you are angry, if you are anything other than love, that's the key. If you're anything, feeling anything other than love, it is because your brain is telling you that you should feel that way and think that way. And when you say to your brain, I am going to live my life and I am living my life in love for all of humanity, starting with me. The brain that is cellular says, all right, we'll go about thinking that. So you're never a victim, ever. You're always the creator of your life experience, always.
Yes.
No blame. There is no blame on you or anybody else. It is up to you to create the peace and harmony that you want your brain to think and to feel.
When you're talking about the mind, the brain, you're absolutely, I see it 100%. That's why I wrote this book, The Mind Road Trip. We've got to
Exactly.
change these beliefs in our minds. So what I have seen over all these years of being a therapist, being a person that talks to people my whole life, it's like so many people's minds, their brains have been hijacked, especially like you were saying over the last 5 years. There's so many avenues for other people to literally put ideas, put beliefs in the mind and, take and put in beliefs that cause that fear and that, you know,
Now understand, Audrey, no one can do that to you or for
oh
you.
no, people are
No
choosing
one.
to watch it and they're choosing that. I get it. And it's not that it's,
But it's very
somebody else
difficult.
is doing it to me.
It is very
Pardon?
difficult for humanity to take responsibility for how they are seeing and viewing their life experience. Very difficult because you see, on planet Earth, you have contrast. And without contrast, there is no growth and there is no expansion and there's no more. You're stuck in the belief that you are holding about yourself. That is you. It's all on you. No one can do it to you or for you. So when you take responsibility for that and say, yes, I see that I am doing that to myself, and I release and let go of that need to be less than in any aspect of my life. I release and let that go now and forevermore. Thank you so much. And so it is, so it is, and so it is. I choose to live in peace and harmony and joy. I choose to live in love for all of things and all of humanity, starting with me. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
And so it is. Yes. Yes. And holding that. I would like to ask Lisa Allen's question of you, please. She says, I get the drift of Alexandra Golden Arrow. I believe, do we have an estimate of the timing of sufficient, significant manifested renewal, particularly for the Los Angeles area? So it's like when we have all of these things that are happening, is there some sort of a time frame of when things will
Yes, 8 to 12 months.
8 to 12 months? That's good. That's
That
really
is, that is, that does not mean that your home will be rebuilt in 8 to 12 months. That is not what that means. What it means is in 8 to 12 months, the belief systems and the energy, the vibration that is coming in to California, specifically with the fires that are destroying the bad, as you would call it. There's no good and no bad from our perspective, but it is in your perspective. So we'll use that phrase. The fires are destroying the bad energy in California. Simple, yes?
very.
Yes. So in this 8 to 12 months, all of those that are experiencing destruction of their property or their home in 8 to 12 months, there will be a renewal and a new belief system that is going to permeate, literally permeate the state of California.
I like the sound of that.
Literally. That is not saying possibly so. Literally, the energy and the vibration of belief systems of those in California will shift for regeneration, renewal.
Okay. I have a question. With this new administration coming in, is there going to be a significant shift for the benefit of humanity with regard to the not only the financial system within our United States, but across the globe? We're looking at a possibility of like a revaluation of the currency across the globe, and possibly a restructuring of the system where there's more currencies that are cryptocurrencies, but backed by commodities, backed by gold or silver. Is that something that is in the works?
Absolutely. And not only in the works, but has been in the works for several months in the previous administration.
Great, great. And what about the healthcare system? Are there going to be significant changes with that? It's been, from my perspective, not so great.
Well, you have a steward that has now joined with and become a part of the renewal of not only the United States of America, but will be affected by the world, or will affect the world. And that is a human, a gentleman, a man that you know from the Kennedy family, that is very concerned about the health of humanity, all of humanity, not just in the United States, but all of humanity, but particularly in the United States, because that is where his locale is. So there is going to be a renewal of information, a renewal of belief systems that are going to affect in a very positive and healing way for humanity. Now, there's a caveat to this, and that is those newborn, or those that are starting a new existence here on the planet, whether they are walking in or whether they are just appearing in a mature way. And there are many ways to enter a body and to have a life experience, many different forms, many different ways. And that will come to the forefront in time within the next 2 to 3 years. Now, let's just say that you are birthed and you are creating a life experience in this time, in this moment of now, and you are creating a life experience where you are imbalanced in one way or another in your brain. You would call it autism, you would call it several different names of what would be out of balance of the norm. We'll just say that. From our perspective, it is all normal. It is all a part of whatever existence you are choosing to have in a body. Now, understand that there will continue to be those individuals that come in with the purpose of experiencing that imbalance, but it will not be because of a chemical that is injected into the body that creates that imbalance. Do you understand?
I do.
Yes. So, in essence, the information that is going to come forward is going to be a disclosure type of information for everyone of that are used to the norm, so to speak. There's going to be a disclosure of also aliens and also spacecraft, etc. All of this is happening together because this voil now that's been lanced has a chance to now heal and become new blood, new cells, etc. Do you understand?
I do. It's very, very exciting and very interesting. Um, when you're talking about all of this, there's also an aspect where people are concerned about AI, artificial intelligence, and AI taking over and you know making it a challenging situation for humans on the planet. Is
Yeah.
that
Yes. So all of you on the planet uh, have a uh, job to do. And your job is to have a limitation on the advancement of that AI. You all have a job to place what you would call not necessarily restrictions. You can use that word, however, restrictions on how advanced that is uh, uh, to become, because as with anything else, as in within the last 25, 28 years, you have had a humanity that you call a deep state that has been controlling all of the aspects of what you all have come to learn in just the last 4 years with the previous administration. You have come to learn that you have been not told the truth about anything. Everything has been untruth. So as far as AI is concerned, it can be to the benefit of humanity or to the destruction of humanity.
so? I think that this is a moment in time as we are in the process of the healing of this boil, where people have an awareness and make it their business to understand these things more and understand that we are many and that we do have the ability to use our voice, use our power to say no. There's a girl named Mel K. For those of you that are watching, you want to go and look at some of her videos. She talks about this and things that they're doing and our ability to say no. That's not our choice. That's not what we are choosing in who we are as a humanity.
So, what is occurring is humanity is coming to a brink, a crossroads, a brink of a cliff. Humanity is coming to that brink of not living by default anymore, or by living by default. That means being unaware, not caring, not being involved, not taking responsibility for what you all are creating. That is what the brink means, or the drop off means, is that you're all
Mhm.
realizing that you're all creating this, allowing this. And yes, anyone can stand up and say, no, I don't think so. That won't work for me. Understand?
I totally understand. I talk to so many people. They're like, "Well, I don't get involved in politics, or I don't look at this, or I don't look at look at that. It doesn't,
And
it's not
that's
a part
why
of what
you're
I do."
and that's why you're all experiencing what you're experiencing. Too many,
Right.
too many are saying, well, I don't do this or I don't do that because it's not important to me. Well, it better become important, yes?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fires,
Well,
the fires and the destruction are very important. It is an in your face experience that is necessary for all of you in California to get involved and say enough.
Exactly. And I don't think that people understand. I mean, when we're here, we're definitely looking at there's a part of it that's arson, but there's other elements involved as well. And I think that is going to come to the forefront. It is going to come to the awareness of people. So when we're being hijacked and you want to watch something fun on TV rather than learning about any of this, it's important in this moment to get there are these things that are happening, and it's not conspiracy. It's literally these things are going on. And when we can have that ability to see it clearly and to understand our power as a collective, to say no, to say this is where we're going for humanity, that's where we all own our power. But if we're turning our head and we're thinking it's too scary, you're already scared. You're already in the fear. So rather face the fear and own your voice, own your ability to say no more. And as a collective, standing forward and joining in the masses to change this, what a little people say.
Exactly.
Those little people are what you were talking about before. There's not that many compared to the amount of people on the planet who do these things, who create these opportunities for fire, create these opportunities for ill health, less wealth, all of these things.
So
sorry, but a little high
it
word.
is, yes, it is important for you all to understand that you all created this new government that is now, as you call it, in power. They're really not in power at all. They're guiding all of you to where you desire to be and to go, and that is to live in an environment that is peaceful, in harmony with all of life. All of you came to this realization and were in the majority to create this new environment. And it was very important for that boil to be lanced, to be cut into, to release all of what all of you have created, albeit by default, not even realizing, being blinded to, not being involved in, not opening your own self to the more of all that is. All of that's needed to transpire. That is exactly what happened to Atlantis. Exactly. They created this massive, we'll call it electronic, even though it was with literally crystals, and created new forms of beliefs and new forms of ways to live, new forms to take over, new ways to, yes, become more, to the degree that it was out of control and literally destroyed the planet. And there are many of you on this planet that came from that planet.
Wow. So Atlantis was another planet? In my
Indeed.
mind, I've always thought it was here, and it just got like buried under the
All
ocean.
right, call it an Earth, call it a configuration of livability. Does not matter. A planet is a formation of a thought. A planet is a patterning of thought, and in that patterning of thought, there is experience of that patterning of thought. You
Wow.
can call the Earth a planet, yes?
Nick is saying in the comments it was crystals that became nuclear on Atlantis.
Yes.
Wow, this is all just fascinating. So there is this, for me, I see we're here and there's all these different timelines that are accessible to us. And I look at all this information and I see a timeline where there is a long time where there is this movement into the best and highest happening for humanity, where it's like life gets to be a lot more peaceful, like we were saying, much more in love, much more abundant for everyone, and a much
What,
uh,
Audrey,
what?
what we would like for you to look at uh, is the timelines that you are aware of, that you see, that come to you to look at. Yes, those individual timelines, and there can be many. In fact, there are innumerable timelines. Those timelines, Audrey, are lifetime experiences in other realms of reality.
Oh,
Those timelines exist as you are having this timeline.
fascinating.
You have been given information about timelines for you to really take a look at what that means. Where do those timelines belong? In what realities do they belong? You see, you on the planet are with your mind, your brain that is limited to what is here on this planet, and yet much is done, you see, with the brain, with the mind in creating. So you have this earth realm that has these belief systems and these experiences that are all connected. What you cannot see and rally are not supposed to see because it takes you off track of why you're here. But all of those other timelines are other realms of reality that exist right now as you are having this timeline.
So I'm going to kind of back up a smidge. There have been these moments, and I called you on one of them where it was like I had a moment where it's like I took another timeline and I had this crazy experience. And I
Yes,
called you. My daughter was at the
yes.
softball park, and I called you, and it was like, "What is going on here?" And they started laughing, and it's like they wanted to make it so that you would understand. So then I have this place that I go to. I'm not going to say where it is at the moment, but there's literally, I think, a portal there. And I feel like I go in there and I can feel like it's a different energy. It's a different
Timeline,
space. It's a
a
different
different
timeline.
timeline. Yes,
So
indeed.
I think it's important for people to understand in our collective. That's why I keep talking about this when we're having that feelings, those feelings of love, those feelings of peace, and we take and we understand, all right, this fear, I'm learning from it, I'm no more. This anxiety, stress, worry, whatever these things are that we are kind of latching on to because we watch the stuff we watch or we go into the phones and TVs, whatever all of that is, as a collective, when we can choose to be in that place of holding in our heart peace, all of the things that you said earlier, we are collectively choosing that timeline, correct? Or do you want to say that better or differently?
So we'd like for you to look at a timeline as an experience in the moment of now. You are having an experience in this body that you call Audrey on the planet Earth in the state of California in the United States of America. That is Audrey's timeline for this moment of now. But Audrey can go to the forest, wherever, and go into you call it a vortex. It's an energy field. Whatever you want to call it is fine. From our perspective, it's just an energy field. And you see and visualize and somewhat experience a different individual or different experience. You're still Audrey, but you're in a different time frame of viewing and of experience. You call it a timeline. That is a perfect description of it. And you can step out of that energy field, and now you're back in, quote unquote, your body of this Audrey personality, carrying on the experiences that you created on your CD-ROM of experience. You're back in the at home, so to speak, in that CD-ROM.
Right.
Now, exactly. So you can have, and the whole purpose and reason that you had that experience of being in a different place, and we believe it was on a ball field or something like that. Yes?
It was.
Yes. So that experience was to show you you're a timeline person. Are writing that and have written that in your book, Timelines. So you created a word, timeline, 2 words, timeline, and the definition is going to be where you are in that moment of now, in that experience. And you created that to show you that, wow, you can be out of this Audrey personality and view this, see this, be this. You understand?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
And
it is not a aberration at all. It is an experience that you brought to yourself so that you can see that there is so much more than this Audrey personality having these experiences. You understand?
I do. I do. And it's funny because if you think about this, it's all about a timeline. When we're driving, when we're moving forward, in that moment of now, we all have a choice. And that choice, when we're literally being that presence, we're able to choose whatever timeline. And there's what you could consider freedom, right?
Yes. Now, the timeline that you're talking about uh, is seated in emotionality.
Yep. Yep. It's like when I'm talking about people in their car and that seated in emotionality. When we're angry, when we're frustrated, it's like you're on your freeway, and instead of going to this great experience that you're looking for, you're doing the getting off the freeway and doing the loop. You're going back to whatever happened back here, or just staying off the freeway, or possibly going somewhere where you really don't want to go at all. It's such an adventure, these lives that we live, right?
For you, yes. And for many, yes. For the many who have opened to the more of their soul and who they really are, their God self, yes, life on this planet is very full of experiences that you all set up for yourselves to grow and to become more. For those that have come to the planet and are having difficulty in removing themselves from their emotionality that their brains are leading them with, it is much more difficult, and the emotionality takes over.
Yeah.
Your goal for all of you on the planet, your goal, are you all right, you? Yes. Right. Your goal on the planet is to choose the emotionality that you desire in each moment of now, rather than it happening to you.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's the goal of having a human experience in the body.
I love this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What a
Absolutely.
brilliant conversation. Thank you so much, Golden Arrow.
Absolutely. Are you complete for the moment?
I am, and I'm wondering if there's any final words that you would like to share with us before you're
Yes.
exiting your vehicle there.
Yes. For all humanity, hold the space. When we say to you, hold the space, that means from our perspective as non-physicals, that means that when you are a physical being, literally, physically, in your mind, in your heart, in your thoughts, hold the space of love for all things to be in their own time and space, starting with you. Hold that space of knowing that everything is right action, even when a state is burning. Even then, and that is the most important time to hold the space for all things, knowing that all things are right action. There are no accidents, there are no mistakes about all that is happening and occurring. It is all right on purpose.
Yeah,
Hold the space for that to be. It is all right action and on purpose.
yes.
All right, then leave the body at this time and we offer then to you all blessings, peace, harmony, and joy.
Thank you. I felt that. Mm, thank you.
So be it.
She always looks like a little kitten coming out. I always love it when you come back. You're always like this little kitten just coming out. Oh, he's so cute.
I'll tell you
Thank
what
you.
it's
What?
like. What it's like for me is coming back into a solid form, a solid body. Because when I'm channeling, when Golden Arrow is speaking and they're doing their thing, I just feel like um, transparent, like there is no form. So when I come back into my body, it's a feeling of funk.
You told me once, actually it was on that first session on the bed. I'm like, what is it like for you? And you had said, and I love this because I listen to other people who channel as well. And some people have a very challenging time with it, like Michael Racia. And you said that in order to do this, you told your guides, you said, look, you know what? I want to be rested. I want to be relaxed. I want to come back in and be like, that was nice. Right.
Yeah, Golden Arrow, actually before the very first time that they spoke with my vocal cords, asked me in my mind, is there anything that you require of us? And I said, wow, well, from all the experiences that I've had with other trans channelers, I would like to not remember anything that I say so that I can be removed from anybody's experience, especially if the experience is a negative one. I just wanted to just be neutral with it and not hear it. And I said, and when I come out of trance, I want to be energized. I don't want to be enervated and have my energy sapped. So now when I truly, every single time that when I have come out of trance, I am why nerd? And that lasts for several hours. I'm highly energized, for which I am grateful.
Yeah, it's a blessing. You're a blessing. I mean, I just, I'm very, very grateful. you'll rewatch that conversation, I'm sure, and it was very powerful. I mean, a lot of really, really important things in that discussion. How can people get a hold of you and have a session with you themselves?
Yeah, so the easiest way, I'm not proficient yet with Facebook and Instagram and all of that. And I'm not saying that I even will be proficient because I have a big, full life as it is. But uh, anybody that asks for a session, I always will allow you to speak to Golden Arrow, whoever wants that. So the best way to reach me is by telephone. So my telephone number is 951 315 8170. 951 315 8170. That's the best way to get a hold of me. Any other way? Oh, yeah, Golden Arrow Channeling. It's Golden Arrow Channeling, all one word, Golden Arrow Channeling, the number 9 at gmail.com. You can always reach me there.
Okay.
WhatsApp, just by my phone number. You can get me on WhatsApp also with my phone number. Yeah, those are the two best ways, my phone number and Golden Arrow Channeling 9 at gmail.com.
And we are talking about having you at Newmont Center coming up in April, I think we said. Yes. You and Merlin together.
Yes, it's either April or May. I don't think it's been established the date yet, but yeah.
Yeah, we haven't established a date, but it's coming up. So that'll
And
be
then
fun.
I'll be on Nick's mainstream metaphysics. When is that, Nick? I
Nick,
want to
when is
say
he going to be on your show?
February.
I think
In
it's not
February.
next week, but maybe the next week. So it's coming up soon. For she'll be on Main Street. What date is that, Nick? He's typing it in, I think. Yes. And you have a boutique up in Arrowhead as well. Do you do
I
readings up there if people are in that area?
I do. I do because I have a home there as well. My store is Alexandra's Emporium. For anybody going up to Lake Arrowhead, which is a beautiful community, by the way, and a beautiful mountain community. Anybody coming up to Lake Arrowhead Village, my store is a big, big boutique. It's a women's clothing store and gift store.
Mhm.
I have a metaphysical room also with crystals, etc. So Alexandra's Emporium is my store. That's my playground. I've had that store for 25 years this year, if you can believe that.
Wow. That's as long as Nick and I are married this year. Wow, that's a long time to have your emporium there. It's wonderful. So if you all are ever up in Arrowhead, contact her and go check that out. And I
Oh,
see somebody new. What were you going to say?
so I have winter hours right now in Lake Arrowhead. If you're coming up, come up on the weekends. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday is when I'm open, and that's through the end of March. Starting in April, then I'll be regular 10 to 5 or 10 to 6, whatever, 7 days a week. 7 days a week. Woo!
A lot. Um, by the way, it's February 25th. You're going to be on his
Yes,
podcast, Mainstream
February
Metaphysics.
25th.
Well, thank
Awesome.
you
I'm
so
looking forward to
much.
that.
Say that again.
I'm looking forward to that.
I am too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This was
So,
a fantastic show. I'm actually, because of all the stuff at the beginning of it, I'm going to condense it and re-share it out without all of the interruptions, and especially the part where Golden Arrow was channeling all of that. That was really amazing. So I will be redoing that probably in the next day or two. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll have to have you back on here again after you're on with Nick. So
yeah, it's always, Audrey, it's always a pleasure. You and I have known each other for a long time. It's always a pleasure interacting with you because you're a very complex person. I mean, you have learned a lot in the few short years that you have been on this planet, and you are doing amazing work for people who really need your guidance. So it's
Thank
always a pleasure to be not only be on your show, but to talk with you, interact with you. I love it.
you. I love it too. So we'll do it again soon.
All right.
So thank you. And for all of you that stayed through all of the technical difficulties, thank you for being on here. And for those of you that came in late, highly recommend going back to the beginning because it was a really great conversation. Golden Arrow was just so good. My eyes are a little watery tonight. So love you all very, very much. And I will be back on here, I think, with myself next week. So much love to you all. Much love to you, Alexandra and Hugh. And I'll catch up with everybody soon.
All
Good
right.
night.
Good night, everyone. Good night.
Good night.